for thousands of years. Mighty civilizations have risen across the earth. They built magnificent cities, monuments that still tower above us, and cultures that transformed the way humans lived. From the fertile plains of Mesopotamia to the mighty Nile, from the Indus Valley to the jungles of Central America, great empires shaped human history. And yet, every one of them eventually fell. They collapsed, sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly, leaving behind ruins, mysteries, and unanswered questions. Why do civilizations fall? Why do societies that seem so powerful, so advanced, suddenly weaken, break apart, and disappear? And most importantly, what can their collapse teach us about our own future? This is the story of the rise and fall of ancient empires, and the lessons hidden in their ruins. Let us begin with Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates, often called the cradle of civilization. Here, around 5,000 years ago, humans built the world's first cities. The Sumerians invented writing, the wheel, and complex systems of government. They raised ziggurats to honor their gods and created irrigation systems that turned desert into farmland. But prosperity came with a price. Over centuries, wars between city-states drained resources and weakened societies. Deforestation and over-irrigation salted the soil, turning once fertile land into barren earth. Rivers shifted, cutting off lifelines of trade and agriculture. As Sumer faded, new powers, Akkad, Babylon, and Assyria, each built mighty empires, each expanded further, and each eventually collapsed under the weight of war, rebellion, and foreign invasion. By the time Alexander the Great marched into Mesopotamia, the once great cradle of civilization was a shadow of its former self. Farther west, along the banks of the Nile, another great empire flourished, ancient Egypt. For over 2,000 years, the pharaohs ruled as god-kings. They commanded vast armies, controlled fertile lands, and built monuments, the pyramids that still stand as symbols of power and mystery. But Egypt, too, was vulnerable. Its entire existence depended on the Nile. The annual flood brought fertile soil. When the flood failed, famine followed. Droughts struck, weakening the kingdom. Invasions by foreign powers, from the Hyksos to the Assyrians and Persians, broke Egypt's independence. Even the grandeur of the new kingdom could not last forever. As internal struggles, weak rulers, and economic decline spread, Egypt fell into decline, becoming just another province of larger empires. The pyramids remain, the temples still stand, but the power that built them is long gone. Meanwhile, in South Asia, another remarkable civilization rose along the Indus River. The Indus Valley civilization, also known as Harappan culture, built cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro around 2500 BCE. These cities were marvels of planning. Streets laid out in grids, advanced drainage systems, and standardized weights and measures. What is most striking is what we do not see. Unlike Mesopotamia or Egypt, there are no grand temples, no massive palaces, no evidence of kings or dynasties. Instead, the Indus Valley seems to have been a remarkably equal society, organized, disciplined, and efficient. And yet, by 1900 BCE, the civilization had collapsed. The great cities were abandoned. The writing system remains undeciphered, leaving us with more questions than answers. What happened? Climate change may have shifted rivers, drying up fertile lands. Trade routes may have collapsed, or perhaps disease spread through the crowded cities. Whatever the reason, one of the world's first great civilizations vanished almost without a trace. Across the ocean, in the jungles of Central America, the Maya civilization thrived for centuries. They were master astronomers, mathematicians, and architects. Their pyramids rose above the jungle canopy. Their calendars tracked the movements of the stars with stunning accuracy. But around the 9th century, many great Maya cities fell silent. Populations dwindled. Temples were abandoned. The reasons remain debated. Prolonged drought may have crippled agriculture. Deforestation may have stripped the land of resources. Constant warfare between city-states may have torn society apart. What we do know is that by the time the Spanish arrived, the Maya civilization had already passed its peak. Its descendants survived, but its golden age had ended. So why do civilizations collapse? The reasons are many, but patterns emerge. Some fell because of the environment, drought, floods, or changing climate that made survival impossible. Others fell to invasion, as rising powers conquered the old. Some collapsed from within corruption, inequality, or overuse of resources leading to decay. What makes collapse so haunting is how sudden it can be. One generation may live in wealth and stability, while the next faces hunger, ruin, and abandonment. The fall of civilizations is not just history, it is a cycle. Societies grow, flourish, and decline. But in their fall, they leave behind legacies, writing, architecture, laws, and knowledge that shape those who come after. The ruins of Mesopotamia, the pyramids of Egypt, the empty streets of Mohenjo-Daro, the silent temples of the Maya, they remind us of both human greatness and human fragility. Civilizations rise, civilizations fall, and each collapse carries a warning for us today. As we face our own challenges, climate change, global conflict, inequality, we must ask, are we repeating the same mistakes? Or can we learn from history before it is too late? The fallen empires of the past whisper across time. Greatness is never guaranteed. What we build today can vanish tomorrow. What do you believe? Can humanity escape the cycle of rise and fall? Or is collapse inevitable? Subscribe now for more ancient history, lost civilizations, and the untold story of mankind.